Hello, welcome back to my live stream where I talk about whatever I want. My name is Chloe. This is the house of Chloe that I built in my parents' backyard. Today we're reading the Bible. We're trying to read the Bible every day this year. Sometimes we fail because a lot happens sometimes, like car accidents and different things. So we're catching up. We're doing April 29th assignment. 2 Kings chapters 23 through 25. And so we will be reading that 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little extra. All right, let's begin. Chapter 23, 2 Kings. Josiah restores true worship. Now the king sent them to gather all the elders of Judah and Jerusalem to him. The king went up to the house of the Lord with all the men of Judah, and with him all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the priests and the prophets, and all the people, both small and great. And he read in their hearing all the words of the book of the covenant, which had been found in the house of the Lord. Then the king stood by a pillar and made a covenant before the Lord to follow the Lord and to keep his commandments and his testimonies and his statutes with all his heart and all his soul, to perform the words of the covenant that were written in the house in this book. And all the people took a stand for the covenant, and the king commanded Hilkiah the high priest, the priest of the second order, and the doorkeepers to bring out of the temple of the Lord all the articles that were made for Baal, for Asherah, and for all the host of heaven. And he burned them outside Jerusalem in the fields of Kidron, and carried their ashes to Bethel. Then he removed the idolatrous priest whom the kings of Judah had ordained to burn incense on the high places in the cities of Judah and in the places all around Jerusalem, and those who burned incense to Baal, to the sun, to the moon, to the constellations, and to all the host of heaven. And he brought out the wooden image from the house of the Lord to the brook Kidron outside Jerusalem, burned it at the brook Kidron, and ground it to ashes, and threw its ashes on the graves of the common people. Then he tore down the ritual booths of the perverted persons that were in the house of the Lord, where the women wove hanging for the wooden image. And he brought all the priests from the cities of Judah and defiled the high places where the priest had burned incense, from Geba to Beersheba. Also he broke down the high places at the gates which were at the entrance of the gate of Joshua, the governor of the city, which were to the left of the city gate. Nevertheless, the priests of the high places did not come up to the altar of the Lord in Jerusalem, but they ate unleavened bread among their brethren. And he defiled Topheth, which is in the valley of the son of Hinnom, that no man might make his son or his daughter pass through the fire to Moloch. Then he removed the horses that the kings of Judah had dedicated to the sun at the entrance to the house of the Lord by the chamber of Nathan Melech, the officer who was in the court, and he turned the chariots of the sun with fire. Then the altars that were on the roof, the upper chamber of Ahaz, which the kings of Judah had made, and the altars which Manasseh had made in the two courts of the house of the Lord, the king broke down and pulverized there and threw their dust into the brook Kidron. Then the king defiled the high places that were east of Jerusalem, which were on the south of the Mount of Corruption, which Solomon king of Israel had built for Ashtoreth, the abomination of the Sidonians, for Chemosh, the abomination of the Moabites, and for Milcom, the abomination of the people of Ammon. And he broke in pieces the sacred pillars and cut down the wooden images and filled their places with the bones of men. Moreover, the altar that was at Bethel and the high place which Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel sin, had made, both that altar and the high places he broke down, and he burned in the high place and crushed it to powder and burned the wooden image. As Josiah turned, he saw the tombs that were there on the mountain, and he sent and took the bones out of the tomb and burned them on the altar and defiled it according to the word of the Lord, which the man of God proclaimed, who proclaimed these words. Then he said, "What gravestone is this that I see?" So the men of the city told him, "It is the tomb of the man of God who came from Judah and proclaimed these things which you have done against the altar of Bethel." And he said, "Let him alone, let no one move his bones." So they let his bones alone with the bones of the prophet who came from Samaria. Now Josiah also took away all the shrines of the high places that were in the cities of Samaria, which the kings of Israel had made to provoke the Lord to anger, and he did to them according to all the deeds he had done in Bethel. He executed all the priests of the high places who were there on the altars and burned men's bones on them, and he returned to Jerusalem. This is 2 Kings 23 through 25. I'm 32 right now. I'll be 33 on June 3rd. Hi, good morning. What's good? You look nice tonight as always. Thank you so much. Then the king commanded all the people, saying, "Keep the Passover to the Lord your God, as it is written in the book of the covenant." Such a Passover surely had never been held since the days of the judges who judged Israel, nor in all the days of the kings of Israel and the kings of Judah. But in the 18th year of King Josiah, this Passover was held before the Lord in Jerusalem. Moreover, Josiah put away those who consulted mediums and spiritists, the household gods and idols, all the abominations that were seen in the land of Judah and in Jerusalem, that he might perform the words of the law which were written in the book that Hilkiah the priest found in the house of the Lord. Now before him there was no king like him, who turned to the Lord with all his heart, with all his soul, and with all his might, according to all the law of Moses, nor after him did any arise like him. Do I ever have fun? Never. Salutations, fine shite. Okay. impending judgment on Judah. Nevertheless, the Lord did not turn from the fierceness of his great wrath with which his anger was aroused against Judah because of all the provocations with which Manasseh had provoked him. And the Lord said, I will also remove Judah from my sight as I have removed Israel, and will cast off the city Jerusalem which I have chosen, and the house of which I said, my name shall be there. Josiah dies in battle. Now the rest of the acts of Josiah and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? In his days Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt, went to the aid of the king of Assyria to the river Euphrates, and King Josiah went against him, and Pharaoh Necho killed him at Megiddo. When he confronted him, then his servants moved his body in a chariot from Megiddo, brought him to Jerusalem, and buried him in his own tomb. And the people of the land took Jehoahaz, the son of Josiah, anointed him, and made him king in his father's place. The reign and captivity of Jehoahaz. What did you just read? How does that benefit you? Top of the morning to you from Emerald Isle, my Callie Gal Chloe. Top of the morning. Jehoahaz was 23 years old when he became king. Also, I'm just going to read it, everything, read the whole Bible. No stopping, no comments, no opinions, nothing. The goal is to read the whole Bible. Why didn't you answer my question? I just did. You mess with any other books? Yeah, sometimes. And he reigned 3 months in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord according to all that his fathers had done. Now Pharaoh Necho put him in prison at Riblah in the land of Hamath, that he might not reign in Jerusalem, and he imposed on the land a tribute of 100 talents of silver and a talent of gold. Then Pharaoh Necho made Eliakim, the son of Josiah, king in place of his father Josiah, and changed his name to Jehoiakim. And Pharaoh took Jehoiahaz and went to Egypt, and he died there. Jehoiakim reigns in Judah. So Jehoiakim gave the silver and gold to Pharaoh, but he taxed the land to give money according to the command of Pharaoh. He exacted the silver and gold from the people of the land, from every one according to his assessment, to give it to Pharaoh. Necho, Jehoiakim, was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Zebudah, the daughter of Pedaiah of Rumah, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord according to all that his father had done. Next is chapter 24 of 2 Kings. I answered the question. He said, what does that mean? Or what you read, what does that mean? And I said, I'm just reading through the Bible with no opinions, comments, or anything, just reading usually. Alright, continue. Chapter 24. Judah overrun by enemies. In his day, Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up, and Jehoiakim became his vassal for 3 years. Then he turned and rebelled against him, and the Lord sent against him raiding bands of Chaldean, bands of Syrians, bands of Moabites, and bands of the people of Ammon. He sent them against Judah to destroy it, according to the word of the Lord which he had spoken by his servants the prophets. Surely at the commandment of the Lord this came upon Judah to remove them from his sight, because of the sins of Manasseh, according to all that he had done, and also because of the innocent blood that he had shed, for he had filled Jerusalem with innocent blood, which the Lord would not pardon. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoiakim and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? So Jehoiakim rested with his fathers. Then Jehoiakim his son reigned in his place. And the king of Egypt did not come out of his land any more, for the king of Babylon had taken all that belonged to the king of Egypt, from the brook of Egypt to the river Euphrates. The reign and captivity of Jehoiakim was 18 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 months. His mother's name was Nehushta, the daughter of Elnathan of Jerusalem, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his father had done. At that time the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up against Jerusalem, and the city was besieged, and Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came against the city as his servants were besieging it. Then Jehoiakim, king of Judah, his mother, his servants, his princes, and his officers went out to the king of Babylon, and the king of Babylon in the eighth year of his reign took him prisoner. The captivity of Jerusalem, and he carried out from there all the treasures of the house of the Lord and the treasures of the king's house, and he cut in pieces all the articles of gold which Solomon, king of Israel, had made in the temple of the Lord. As the Lord had said, also he carried into captivity all Jerusalem, all the captains and all the mighty men of valor, 10,000 captives, and all the craftsmen and smiths. None remained except the poorest people of the land, and he carried Jehoiakim in captive to Babylon. The king's mother, the king's wives, his officers, and the mighty of the land he carried into captivity from Jerusalem to Babylon, all the valiant men, 7,000, and craftsmen and smiths 1,000, all who were strong and fit for war. These the king of Babylon brought captive to Babylon. Zedekiah reigns in Judah. Then the king of Babylon made Mataniah, Jehoiakin's uncle, king in his place and changed his name to Zedekiah. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became king, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. He also did evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that Jehoiakim had done. For because of the anger of the Lord, this happened in Jerusalem and Judah, that he finally cast them out from his presence. Then Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon. We have a pope. Yes, we do. What's my opinion on it? I don't have one. Interesting lore for real. Alright. Chapter 25, 2 Kings. The fall and captivity of Judah. Now it came to pass in the 9th year of his reign, that reign in the 10th month, on the 10th day of the month, that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and all his armies came against Jerusalem and encamped against it, and they built a siege wall against it all around. So the city was besieged until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. By the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine had become so severe in the city that there was no food for the people of the land. Then the city wall was broken through, and all the men of war fled by night by way of the gate between two walls, which was by the king's garden, even though the Chaldeans were still encamped all around against the city, and the king went by way of the plain. My foot hurts now. Okay. But the army of the Chaldeans pursued the king, and they overtook him in the plains of Jericho. All his army was scattered from him, and so they took the king and brought him up to the king of Babylon at Riblah, and they pronounced judgment on him. Then they killed the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes, but put out the eyes of Zedekiah, bound him with bronze fetters, and took him to Babylon. And in the 5th month, on the 7th day of the month, which was the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan. Sorry, these names are really hard sometimes. The captain of the guard, a servant of the king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem. He burned the house of the Lord and the king's house, all the house of Jerusalem, that is, all the houses of the great, he burned with fire, and all the army of the Chaldeans who were with the captain of the guard broke down the walls of Jerusalem all around. Then Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried away captive the rest of the people who remained in the city, and the defectors who had deserted to the king of Babylon with the rest of the multitude. But the captain of the guard left some of the poor of the land as vine dressers and farmers, the bronze pillars that were in the house of the Lord, and the carts and the bronze sea that were in the house of the Lord. The Chaldeans broke in pieces and carried their bronze to Babylon. They also took away the pots, the shovels, the trimmers, the spoons, and all the bronze utensils with which the priest ministered, the fire pans and the basins, the things of solid gold and solid silver. The captain of the guard took away the 2 pillars, 1 sea, and the carts which Solomon had made for the house of the Lord. The bronze of all these articles was beyond measure. The height of 1 pillar was 18 cubits, and the capital on it was bronze. The weight of the capital was 3 cubits, and the network and pomegranates all around the capital were all of bronze. The 2nd pillar was the same with a network, and the captain of the guard took Serariah, the chief priest, Zephaniah, the 2nd priest, and the 3 doorkeepers. He also took out of the city an officer who had charge of the men of war, 5 men of the king's close associates who were found in the city. The chief recruiting officer of the army who mustered the people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land who were found in the city. So Nebuzaradan, captain of the guard, took these and brought them to the king of Babylon at Riblah. Then the king of Babylon struck them and put them to death at Riblah in the land of Hamath. Thus Judah was carried away captive from its own land. Gedaliah made governor of Judah. Then he made Gedaliah the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, governor over the people who remained in the land of Judah, who Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had left. Now when all the captains of the armies, they and their men, heard that the king of Babylon had made Gedaliah governor, they came to Gedaliah at Mizpah. Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, Johanan, the son of Kariah, Serariah, the son of Tanhumeth, the Netophite, and Jazaniah, the son of Machathite, they and their men. And Gedaliah took an oath before them and their men, and said to them, "Do not be afraid of the servants of the Chaldeans. Dwell in the land and serve the king of Babylon, and it shall be well with you." But it happened in the 7th month that Ishmael, the son of Nathaniah, the son of Elishama of the royal family, came with 10 men and struck and killed Gedaliah, the Jews, as well as the Chaldeans who were with him at Mizpah, and all the people, small and great. And the captains of the armies arose and went to Egypt, for they were afraid of the Chaldeans. Jehoiakim, released from prison. Now it came to pass in the 37th year of the captivity of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, in the 12th month, on the 27th day of the month, that evil Merodach, king of Babylon, in the year that he began to reign, released Jehoiakim, king of Judah, from prison. He spoke kindly to him and gave him a more prominent seat than those of the kings who were with him in Babylon. So Jehoiakim changed from his prison garments, and he ate bread regularly before the king all the days of his life. And as for his provisions, there was a regular nation given him by the king, a portion for each day all the days of his life. Okay, we're going to cross out 1 day's worth of reading. Next is Chronicles, I believe. Yeah. Next is Chronicles. First Chronicles. I have trouble closing this drawer. It doesn't close and stuff unless I slam it. Now it's stuck. One sec. There we go. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, we're not here for Bible. What? You are reading just fine, Chloe. You have lots of followers and gain more every day. Just turn that thing to a coloring book. Lord, action, go away. Thank you for your kind words, you guys. My drawer is full of kittens. You're not going to get more followers. This is slow. Yeah, I read slow. See, dog run down runs fast. Yeah, Robert has kittens now. His little baby, I mean not a baby, but his girl cat gave birth to, is it 5 kittens now? Did you say 5? It's talk time. I can only talk for a little while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 baby kittens. What are you gonna do with them? Are you gonna put a free sign whenever they're ready to be away from their mom? Or put them up for adoption? My hair is getting dark right here. I mean, not getting dark, but my natural hair color is growing out finally. Gator bait. No. I need to count them when she goes to eat and drink. Yeah. One might have slipped out. Maybe you have 7. But yeah, I can tell you some updates on my day. So today I got a call from my insurance. They said that they will give me money for my car. And the other insurance will cover the deductible, and also I told them that I want to keep my car, so they will tow it for free to my house, and I will get it fixed at a later date. And also I applied for CSL Plasma, but the car situation, getting money for that is like life-saving, because I don't really know what I was gonna do, because I was already kind of worried and thinking about running out of money and not sure if I would get a job in time and if I would be able to go to on my trips, one to Kentucky, one to Montana, and one to Southern California this summer. So a huge weight off my shoulders, huge relief that I got some money for the car, and that I will keep it. Also, I applied for CSL Plasma for a job. And I hopefully a phlebotomist job, but the one that was listed was um like reception area or whatever. And then also I put a piece of my flooring down in my tiny house. It's looking amazing, amazing. And yeah, I did all the things that I had goals to do for um that day today. So that's good. I need to count. It may not be economically feasible to repair the car. That's true. If I'm not able to repair the car, if it costs too much to repair the car, then I will give it to Pick and Pull. Do the estimate first. How much to repair? True. That's what I'm gonna do. Yay. Humbus pop them Leo. Yay. What does that mean in English? But I have a date tomorrow. Nathan's going to be picking me up tomorrow. We're going to sushi. We're going to watch an episode of a show called Dave. And hang out. Should be fun. We have a pup, yes. I like Nate. He's cool. I'm gonna wear a dress. Tomorrow is Friday. Enjoy your sushi. Thank you so much. I love sushi, and it doesn't make my stomach hurt that bad. Like, I mean, stomach ache, but like just uncomfortable. So it's good for that. To not make it as uncomfortable. First US Pope in 2,000 years. In 2,000 years? Wow. Sounds like a good time. I had supermarket sushi earlier today. First US Pope in 2,000 years? Can we even calculate that far? I mean, 2,000. Have you done a background check on Nate? I know his Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I know his mom, his sister, his stepdad. I know where he works. I know things. I know things about him. He goes to school. That's true since the beginning of church. No American Pope. True. But I'm wearing this dress. I think I'm gonna just wear this dress. It's the brand 32 Degree Cool, and it's a medium. It's a little tight, but it's okay. It goes like this. Has a little belt thingy. That's true since the beginning of church. Now I'm hearing I'm really hungry right now and tomorrow. I will be hungry tomorrow too. You're a stunner. Thank you so much. 30 Degrees Cool is sold at Costco, a great brand. Yes, that's true. I love it. It'll keep me cool because it's gonna be a hot day tomorrow probably. But all at the same time warm. Cool and warm. But yeah, last night, I sorted out a plastic bag with the stuff that I got from my car. So like all of the paperwork from work was in my glove compartment that I just threw into the bag, and a bunch of other stuff. So I just sorted all of that stuff out yesterday. Hot day in Los Angeles. Yes. But yeah, I will get off of the live stream now because I've been talking too long. I'll talk to y'all in the next live stream video or short. Much peace and love. Bye.